Hello, good morning. Nothing's broken today, right? Hopefully. Crossing my fingers. Crossing my toes. Crossing my arms. Crossing my legs. The only thing broken is the time. What do you mean by this? Hold on. We're gonna switch screens, but I'm just gonna let you guys know right now that we might see a floating desk. I don't know if this desk is properly placed yet. We'll have to find out. Your mental stay is broken. How do we fix that? Oh no, we're fine. We're good. Okay, desk is not floating. We are in the most perfect state. I got really lucky. I thought that it would have been floating. You know what? That's good. This is good. Here you go. I'm gonna change some things too. How's everyone doing, by the way? Happy Sunday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Stream is definitely a little bit earlier for some of you who are not experiencing daylight saving time. My clock has moved forward by 1 hour, which means that streams are going to be earlier for some of you, or at the same time if you also experience DST. I think most people don't, right? I believe that most people here probably don't experience DST. It's something that we've had for a very long time though. So if you guys are staying here for the long run, there will be two. There will be two of these. There's gonna be one in November, usually there's one in November, and one in March. Like today. I heard they removed daylight savings from parts of Canada. They did, and where I am, they still kept it because of the freaking states, because of USA, because of New York City. They're like, no, we're gonna keep it because there's a lot of people moving back and forth between here and there. Hi, Raim, welcome in. Hope you're doing okay. I am doing good. Actually, I don't know if am I doing good? I think so. I mean, I'm doing regularly. I am feeling the same as I have before, which is still in a state of a little bit stressed, a little bit busy, not fully relaxed. Yeah, I'm just doing. Ark, I have 25 pages today. Please pray for me. Did everyone just collectively decide that Saturday would be the best day to go to the hospital? Well, maybe, no, sorry. Today's not Saturday. Today's Sunday, but it kind of makes sense to me now because everyone's busy from Mondays to Fridays. I don't like the hospitals. I've been there for too long last week. No, you can't eat the microwave. What the hell? There's no ingredients in a microwave like that makes a microwave that would be good for your body. Zinc maybe? Who knows? You can try. Today's Monday? No, it isn't, Sentience. Okay, maybe it is Monday where you are. Hi, Groove. It's Sunday where I am, right? Double checking. I have to make sure it is. I thought I was being gaslit again. I'm like, wait, hold on. Is it not Sunday? Is it Monday where I am? No, it is Sunday. It is Sunday. I just woke up. That's how my day was. Yesterday, I was out all day. Out from like 8 a.m. Then I got home at 5, had 1 hour free time before people started coming over. So, yeah, I was busy until like midnight, which was, I was hoping I could get some work done, but that never really happened. I had time to do some laundry. So I guess that is progress? That's progress. A little bit of progress. It's 12 a.m. for me, so it's Monday right now. Happy Monday. Yeah, busy day. It's nice, not really. Something unexpected happened. Ended up... Should I say this? I probably shouldn't say it. Ended up going to places with like 50 plus people, 100 people. Say it? No, I'm not gonna say it. I feel like it's not my place to say, that's why. And plus, I might dox myself by saying it, so I'm not gonna say it. So I'm gonna be as vague as possible. I went somewhere with like 100 people. It was exhausting, yeah. It was 100 people. How old were you when you were 10 years old? 10. It was close to 100. It was, so I expected 70, 80 people. Ended up having like 100 people showing up. And I was like, I'm not, I'm not ready for this. I hate DST. For me, you were streaming 2 hours earlier last week. Which means that I'm streaming 3 hours earlier this week? For you, Vess, right? Which is... Depending on where you guys are, it's probably really early. Or if you guys live on the other side of the world, it might be better because it means I don't stream as late in the day. You were born without hair. I was born with a few strands. My sister was born with poop on her head. Was it a party or something? I mean, sort of. Sort of. An unexpected party. A perfect time for me? 9 p.m. Oh, you're on the other side of the world, dog. 9 p.m. So like that's okay, yeah, that is a good time. Which means that by the time I'm done streaming, I mean, you might be sleeping. But at the same time, dog, you're always in Liar's chat, and Liar streams up until like 3 a.m. sometimes. For her. Hi, Dormant Owl. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's me. Oh. It's probably better for people on the other side of the world. Yeah, I came earlier. We are experiencing here what we call daylight saving time, Dormant Owl. So daylight saving time is something that happens in some parts of Canada where our clocks turn forward by 1 hour at this time to help with daylight because it gets dark fast. Liar has some problems. Liar never has any problems. Okay, maybe she does, but maybe I'm lying. Mainland Asia makes no sense. Let's see. Let me see why. So daylight saving time, what I assume was created was because if you live in parts of the world where it gets dark really quickly, it helps with getting some sunlight and getting some light in your day. Because otherwise, once you come back home from work, it's going to be really dark. So they're like, how about we move the clock forward a little bit so that when you come home, you at least get like 1 hour of sunlight. Wasn't it something to do with farming? I don't think so. From what I heard, let's actually Google this because I don't have a good idea. Like, I'm not sure. This is what I've just been told. Roof, thank you for the 2 months. Yay, yippee. Okay, let's find out. Daylight saving time. Why was it created? It was used during, it was created during World War One. And it had something to do with the light. Excuse me. To conserve fuel and energy by reducing the need for artificial lighting. To maximize evening daylight, so they wouldn't have to use so much electricity during the day. You know what? That kind of makes sense to me. Are you okay? I'm never okay. No, it's just morning allergies. Just morning allergies. I had like a bit of something caught in my throat last night, and then that aggravated my asthma for the entire night. So I'm still kind of suffering. I'm recovering from that. Let's look at this with a glass half full. I'm still recovering from last night's asthma attack. Yeah, where did the farmers thing come from? Maybe it is something to do with farming as well and saving electricity, but yeah, from what I know, it was supposed to do with daylight and sunlight. That's why it's called daylight saving time. Like, it's in the name, right? So the University of Canada says that in 1918, the Canadian government formally introduced DST, daylight saving time, as a way to increase production during wartime. So I guess it could just be Canadian history. If other parts of the world uses DST for other purposes and other reasons, it could have something to do with farming. But Canada primarily uses it to increase and maximize daylight. Medi, hello! Welcome in! It's a mediocre raid. That's not a mediocre raid. A raid is a raid! What are you saying? What are you guys saying? Welcome in. Hello. Happy Sunday. We're just chatting here. We're just chilling. We're learning about the history of daylight saving time because in Canada, just this morning, or last night, whatever you want to call it, 2 a.m. Sunday, the clocks move forward by 1 hour. And we're trying to figure out why, like, who created this? Why was it created? Burgers for me, hello. Happy cow. You guys sound very Canadian right now. Why are you guys apologizing? We're sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. Canadian rent prices? Oh, please don't talk to me about that. You're right, though. I don't think it's just... Okay, maybe it's like a lot of Canada. A lot, you know, yeah, Canada's rent prices have skyrocketed, but same with the rest of the world. But I do think that Canada's rent price, the skyrocketing of Canadian rent prices did go up to an extreme. Snack fan, hello, welcome in. We ain't just Canadian prices are insane everywhere. Some places shave worse than others. I don't know what's gonna happen. I really don't. Like, I don't think it's gonna fall down. It is what it is. It's just... That's just, the economy and inflation in a bubble. Things are just gonna keep going up. You know that Australia's daylight savings is a place to get more time out in the sun after school and work. Oh, so it's just like... Canada, yeah. Like, it's in the name, right? Saving the daylight. We save more daylight during the day. Or just to get a bit more light in. So what the conclusion, or what we found, was that, here it is, it's created during the World War I to conserve fuel and energy, to reduce the need for artificial lighting. That makes sense to me. Money equals sad. No, money equals happy. What? Koi, if money makes you sad, I'm happy to take all of it from you. Hand it over. I'll make you happy, I promise. Oh, you're sad because no money. Oh, okay, okay. No, you gotta word it properly. You can't say money makes you sad. Money equals sadness. No, money equals happiness. Whoever came up with the phrase, money does not equal happiness was, you know, they were talking shit out of their asses. Because these days, everybody would be happy with a little bit more money. Give it to me, I'm jobless. You gotta earn it, sentience. You gotta earn it. Right? You gotta somehow earn it. Share me some sadness too. Don't wallow in your own misery. What are you guys doing? I get it. Sadness and depression is addicting. It is. Anger is addicting. Right? It's. Have you guys thought about this? Have you guys thought about this before? Where, maybe I'm getting a little bit philosophical now. Or psychological, whatever you want to call it. Like one day I just sat down and I was like, why is it that when we are depressed and when we are sad, we tend to listen to sad music? And I think it's because of an addiction to the sadness. I think it makes us feel something and we crave that emotion. So we keep digging ourselves deeper into the hole. But what I realized too is that it makes me really stressed out. Yeah, it's an extreme feeling and we keep craving it. I don't think it's brain damage. I think we're just programmed to feel that way. Or maybe it's just a small few people who listen to sad music when they're sad. Or they get more and more angry. Like they like sit down with themselves and they start thinking about, they start regretting things and they start feeling guilty. Not because, you know, they're doing it on purpose, but because a part of themselves really enjoy that feeling. Right? Like they like the extreme emotions. So they keep spiraling. I'm not saying anybody in particular, Wilder. I'm just saying that in any case, like in any instance or situation where people do feel guilt or feel sadness, that they end up spiraling. It's kind of cathartic that someone else had the same feeling. We should all just be sad together. I'm kidding. No, we all be happy together. How about that? Because I don't know, there's like something about happiness that's not as elating as sadness sometimes, because happiness, trying to get that happy high is a lot more difficult than getting the high from depression. You might be moving out of your place soon. Congratulations, Clock. Oh, we might be moving at the same time. Isn't that exciting? Are you getting your own place? What's going on? Are you getting kicked out? You're like, no, we don't want to live with Clock anymore. He lives like a pig. He doesn't clean up. He doesn't throw away his trash. He doesn't do his own laundry. He doesn't vacuum. He doesn't help out with any chores. This guy's just leeching. We're gonna kick him out right now. Sounds like him. Play heavy music really loud can help you release stress. Maybe that's what I do, because I definitely play music, heavy music, really loudly sometimes. I have to move to a different room because of that. Like I've mentioned before to you guys, that I share a study space with one of my roommates. But the problem is that I don't like blasting music into my eardrums. I don't like putting on headphones when I'm listening to loud music. I prefer to have it bouncing off the walls. I need to be in that soundscape, you know what I mean? I need the surround sound. Okay, I wouldn't really call that surround sound, but I need it to be coming from, like, you know, it has to be everywhere around me. So I just go to a different room, I close the door, I put my music on speakers, and I just blast it. Or I don't really blast it. I put it up high enough so that it doesn't It's still high for me, like it's loud enough for me, but it doesn't bother anyone else. And I double check too. I get really self-conscious about this because I close the door. No. I put my music on speakers. I leave the room, I close the door, I walk to another room just to make sure that they can't hear my music. And then I go back in. You're moving in with a friend. He wants to save up for a down payment on a house, so he's trying to co-live with someone. My auntie has been pretty mean lately too, so it works out. Ooh, exciting. There are going to be a lot of, how do I say it, like hardships, right? Living with someone for the first time is always going to be an annoyance. There are just things that you're going to have to deal with. You know, habits from the other person. So I just want to say good luck. As long as you know that the other person you're living with is on board with whatever that you do, like, you know, your habits, then it's good. Because I've seen situations, I just want to put it out there, I'm not jinxing or anything, but I just want to make you aware that, like, I've seen several instances where one person moves in with their best friend and then the next year they hate each other's guts. They just end up hating each other. And I'm just hoping that that's, you know, not the case. Like, heads up, prepare yourself, you know, for the worst, just in case, and be like, all right, I already expected this is not going to surprise me, because if it's unexpected, that's when things get rough. He's a very cleanly person. That's the thing I'm most concerned about. The parking is another big thing I'm worried about. The parking is always difficult. Good luck. I can't say anything on parking just because I don't have a car myself. I don't own one. I need to own one soon. I need to get my own car. I haven't driven a car in 3 years. Oh boy. That dream is gonna become reoccurring. The dream where I get into a vehicle, I get into the driver's seat, and then instead of going straight forward, I shoot straight up into space. It's just gonna keep happening. It'll be fun to relearn. I'm not really excited for it. I'm pretty good with relearning though, because I'd say I'm pretty confident behind the wheel. It's just a matter of being aware of my surroundings. That is not something I am totally... I'm not the best at it. And that's something you have to be aware of. And I'm not good at looking at everything at once, which I should be. I do. Have you guys noticed this too? That most people who play games are better at, you know, being aware of their surroundings than people who don't play games. They're probably, it's like gaming gets them used to being aware of people behind them, people in front of them, signs, little things on the road that you have to look for. Do you drive good? I'm really bad at making turns because I'm not used to it. I think making turns is a habit that you gotta do with, and it's something that you have to mesh well with your car as well, right? If you understand your car enough and you're used to making those turns, then it starts becoming a habit kind of thing. But like for me, I have only driven one car in my entire life, which is the car that my parents left for me like a decade ago. And it's still here, but the problem is that the engine's died, and I'm like, do I really need a car? Nah, right? So like for the past decade, I have not really used it. The only time I've driven was just to take my driving license or my driving test to get my licenses, and that was it. And I'm like, I got my licenses, I'm good, that's it. And that will last me for years. Then I don't have to retake it until I am old and retired. Just take an emergency driving course, you'll be a lot more confident that way. Nah, I think I'm good. I think I might just drive in local areas where there's no cars and just get used to the car again. Because, I mean, it's not bad. I remember my driving instructor really liking me because he keeps saying that I'm very consistent and very diligent with learning how to drive, because I literally booked him in for it was either every morning or every 2 days. I was like, I need to get this over with. So I was like, yeah, can you come over I think it was like once every 2 days where he had a lesson. So we ended up just driving everywhere. My dad was actually I want to say the stricter instructor. Ramo Striker. Hello, welcome in. Happy Sunday. I'm just telling a story about my driving journey, my driving experience, how I learned how to drive. But my dad was actually the scary instructor, because what he made me do was he's like, okay, Ark, get into the car. We're driving for 3 hours. And I was like, what? And he's like, you have no choice, right? Like, we're going. Because at the time he came to visit for a month. And he's like, in this month, I need you to be able to drive. And I'm like, okay. So I get into the car and he takes me to a parking lot, like an empty parking lot. And he goes, drive backwards for 3 hours. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, no, just drive backwards for 3 hours. So the entire time for 3 hours, I was getting so motion sick, but I was driving backwards into, the parking spaces and around just to get used to the wheel. Yeah, that's my dad. So, which is why I say I'm pretty confident with the car. I was being tortured, Clock, but it did honestly help a lot. It helped so much. So when my driving instructor came for the first time, he was like, wow, you seem really used to the car already. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Because my dad made me do this. And it wasn't just that one time. He made me do that constantly. So it was like, he's like, Ark, in order to prepare for life, you have to schedule your entire life. So he's like, we're going to have a very strict schedule for your car lessons with me. And he's like, every day at this exact same time, we're going to be driving for 3 hours around this parking lot. But I think I may have looked too confident, because my driving instructor brought me to one of the busiest areas where I am, where there's like a lot of people, a lot of pedestrians, a lot of bikes. And he's like, I just want to test your skills. He's like, I want to test your situation awareness, right? And just drive here. I failed. He's like, you're not looking at the bikes. But I think after that, it was fine. At what age? I don't know. It was a long time ago. I'd say like a decade ago. It was definitely a decade ago. So like it's been years since I've driven. So I think I still have a bit of muscle memory, but I'm not scared of driving anymore. I know I have a lack of experience though, because I haven't driven in a long time. So it's just a lot of remembering what to look for on the road. Yeah, you gotta check your mirrors with the bikes around. Gotta make sure, the part where I get really confused is the right of way, because I'm not good at counting. Like, you guys know this. I'm terrible at counting. I'm bad at numbers. And I'm like, who came first? I can't tell. I'm not really looking, and if you miss it, you're kind of like, oh shit, now I'm confused. So yeah, it's like there's a bit of math, I guess, when it comes to driving. I can barely even call that math. That's barely counting, but still, I'm not good at that. The bikes are actively trying to get themselves killed. I need more people to learn bike signals, because there needs to be a license for that. I get it if you live in a place where there's not a lot of cars, there's a lot more walking space, right? There's a lot more or a lot less people that you might not need to learn all of the bike signals, the hand signals, whatever it is. But in a place where there are a lot of people, I would like very much appreciate it if people knew how to signal. Like bikers knows how to signal. There's no license for bikes. Not when I mean bikes, I mean like, you know, the manual pedaling bike. So no, there's no license for that. For motorbikes, there are. I literally live in my state's capital, so I'm pretty used to it. I'm not. I think if you were to drive a massive truck, a big red truck, constantly or often, or you're often in the front seat, or you're somewhere in there, or you're often in a vehicle, that like, it's probably something that you have to get used to. There needs to be a license though. I know in where I lived in before, in Asia, like even, you know the scooters, the really, really fast scooters that are basically just mini motorbikes, right? People don't need licenses for that, so you can just grab one and go. But it just makes the road really dangerous because people don't know road safety. They don't know signs. They can't read signs. And they're like, whatever, I'm just on a bike anyway. Just treat me as a pedestrian, but I'm actually on the road. You lived in Asia? Yeah, I lived in Asia, and I've been to several parts of Asia. So I've been everywhere in Asia before. So I kind of have experienced every country's traffic in some way or another in Asia. For a bit. I was talking to someone yesterday. They lived in the same place that I did. Actually, we went to competitive schools, which is really interesting because now she lives in Canada too. And I'm like, wait, hold on. We could have known each other. A 13-year-old with electric scooters, the bane of my existence. They gotta really put give people licenses for that. They need to apply for a license, some sort of certificate, and be like, here is a course. You gotta learn the roads before you're able to drive this thing. Asians out here not seeing 1/4 of Asia. I feel like I've seen all of the biggest places. So you're right. I may have only seen like just a tiny bit of Asia. Or more of East Asia. I've been to everywhere in... No. I've been to Southeast Asia too. Everywhere East Asia, Southeast. No, I feel like I've been to most places. Yeah, no, I've been to most places. We do have that here, but people get around it by using electric wheelchairs? Excuse me? What? Electric wheelchairs, like the ones for old people, where you sit down and there's 2 wheels and people use those not for disability purposes. I'm so confused. I want those automatic wheelchairs, but my legs are healthy, so morally I can't. Anytime I'm unable to walk anymore, which I hope is never going to be the case, right? I am going to get myself an electric wheelchair. I don't like the idea of having someone push me around, and I don't like the walker. I'd rather just have my own little wheelchair where I can just move around on my own. E-bikes need license plates, but not wheelchairs. What the heck? That is pretty stupid. I just find it a little icky. I do find it a little icky for people who are using wheelchairs and they don't need them. You're like, whoever said it was morally incorrect or strange, like I feel that too. You want one of the Walmart scooters? You know what I really want? Not a Walmart scooter, but I want a skateboard. I've always wanted a skateboard. My entire life I wanted a skateboard, and I never got one, but now I feel like I'm too old for one. I'm too goddamn old for a skateboard. And the problem is, too, is that I'm never going to find a chance to ever use it. Maybe it's probably better for me to get roller skates, honestly. And I think with skateboards is that I don't know where to ride it without inconveniencing people. Because there are people walking on sidewalks and they're walking at normal speed. Whereas if you're on something that makes you speed up, right, it could be kind of dangerous. And with the skateboard, it doesn't have the bell like a lot of bikes do. Like, you know, the little bell that you can ring to signal that you're behind someone so that they can move out of the way. Skateboards don't have that. And I'd say that they go probably, I'm gonna say around the same speed as a bike, or they go faster than like the regular pedestrian. So it does get kind of dangerous. Get a longboard, they're better for cruising long distances. I really want one. I want a waveboard too. But I might just end up getting roller skates if I do get something. If I do. But I might not. Now that I'm thinking about it, remember when I said that I really like going out and just walking around exploring nature? I actually think it's better for me to just walk and explore rather than use roller skates. I think roller skates are fun as a way to just, not to get around per se, but just to do cool stuff on it. But that's pretty much it. I'd rather take my time outside in nature to enjoy looking at the trees, enjoy looking at the squirrels and the birds, because on roller skates, it's kind of like living life at 2x speed. And I want to take my time. I need to blow my nose, 1 second. I'm gonna mute myself. Okay. I'm back. I may have said roller skates because I was looking at videos of people doing cool roller skating skills. With cones, you know what I'm talking about? Like they're just weaving in and out or in between the cones, and it just looks really fun. But I know that if it's me, I'm gonna trip over a rock or something. I'm gonna fall flat on my face. I'm gonna break a bone. And then I'm never going to be able to walk ever again. Are you gonna do some air gear stuff? Air gear like the anime? I mean, I can't, I don't think. No, I would definitely break something. See me in a clan battle. I haven't heard the title or the series name Air Gear in so long. How long ago was that? Air Gear? Let's see, Air Gear. Air Gear release day. It aired in Japan in 2006, consisting of 25 episodes. Oh wow. There's still a thing? Yeah, 2004? 2006. I don't imagine that shoes with wheels is good in snowy country. I had to walk on ice. Slushed ice. Slushy. Yesterday. So, yeah, you're right. It's not the best. For some reason, the weather yesterday just decided to become super warm. And all the snow started melting, but I had to walk on grass. So all the snow was like, it's turned into slush, and I was wearing very formal clothes. But I was like going knee deep into water. It was not a fun time. I take walking on ice than being Asian. What's wrong with being Asian? Yeah, we can't touch grass. There's just snow on top of it. In order to touch grass, we have to dig through all that snow. The piles and piles and piles of snow. Snow doesn't exist in Canada, by the way. You can't touch it. So anytime someone's like, hey, touch grass, you can just be like, I can't, I'm Canadian. Can't see, it's just not there. It's supposed to be like 50 degrees Fahrenheit today too. Why is it so goddamn hot? I had people fly in from like other parts of the world where like they were like in the lower hemisphere of the world, and they're like, this is strange to me seeing slushed snow. And I'm like, yeah, this is not how snow is supposed to look like. It's usually fluffy. It usually feels like sand, more like sand. But yesterday just was not it. Welcome back, Dormant Owl. Snow doesn't exist in Australia at all. Yeah, I can't imagine it does exist. It would be weird. If one day it starts snowing in Australia, that's when you know the world is going to end. It's doomsday. Snow has variants. Yeah, so my favorite type of snow is the one that is fluffy, that's very light, and when it lands on the ground and it piles up, you can just put your hand in and it just sinks right in. That's everyone's favorite variant. Minty, hello, welcome in. That's everyone's favorite variant of snow, the very fluffy snow. Hi, Carrot, welcome in as well. And then the other one is when it's kind of packed in. So you get very packed snow. And that's like, you know, the snow that you would see in a snowman? When you pack it all together, it becomes kind of solid. Glitch Demon, thank you for the follow. That is also another type of snow. It's hard. It's not fluffy anymore, but that's still snow. And that's the best type of snow to walk in, so that you don't really sink in and it's not difficult to walk. You're kind of just walking on a surface. Packed wet snow so I can throw. Ew! That is one of the grossest variations. We have whatever Clock just mentioned, the wet packed snow, which is basically just slush, right? Disgusting. That is also a different variant of snow that we have here. And that's the type that I don't like because it starts mixing in with the mud and it gets it turns brown. It looks like poop water. Snow looks like poop. So yeah, I don't like that type of snow. And then you have like ice, which is, I'm not going to get into that. Ice is different. Black ice happens when it rains a little bit because it gets a bit warm. The snow starts melting and then it freezes again. So then you get all this ice on the ground and you slip and slide everywhere. Rain variants as well. Yeah, exactly. Which one is the most used in snowball fights? I would say it's the fluffy one. It's the fluffy snow because then you can gather it well. And then you form a ball, you pack it in, and then it turns into the packed snow. And then that's how you make a snowball. And that's also how you make a snowman as well. You take all that fluffy snow and you pack it together into one big snowball. The Mikaze Music, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Your model's cute. Thanks. Thanks, I appreciate it. I did the art and rigging for my head, and the rest is not me. Just my head. Investigator Ark? Who's that? Hi, Dom. The wet packed snow, that's the best. Maybe for Clock. I think that's gross. You know, kids back in the day used to be really evil because for snowball fights, what they would do is if they want to cause a lot of damage, is that they would put a piece of rock inside the snowball so that when it hits really hard and it hurts like hell. It's basically like throwing rocks at people. And I'm not about that. Don't do that. Yeah, that is really mean. It is murder. Do kids still do that? I hope not. I hope that the adults have been teaching the kids, you know, the ways of living, being nice to one another. Because back then, I feel like there's not much information out there for parenting. The internet didn't really exist. So kids were just really freaking evil. But these days, everybody has access to the internet, and if we want tips on how to parent a kid, it's literally right there. I've never thought about doing that. Me neither. But yeah, there's just some kids out there who are like, yeah, let's just be super evil. You never seen snow in real life. You should one day. Experience it, touch it. Put snow under a person's collar. That still happens to me. That still happens to me. I get every time I see someone pick up some snow and they go, Ark, come here. I'm running the opposite direction. I'm going the other way because I know exactly what they're going to do to me. They're going to put snow in my shirt or something. Kids aren't evil. Kids haven't learned about consequences. I think that's one of the first lessons of life is to learn all about consequences. Consequences of their actions, because too many kids are like, let me just try it and find out what happens. And then sometimes the consequence does happen, but they don't understand the implications of it, and they're like, well, this happened, but I don't feel bad, so I'm gonna keep doing it. It's like you have to keep hammering the ideas into their head and be like, this is bad. Sometimes you do get kids that are born, you know, with empathy and consideration and compassion, but a lot of kids aren't, and they're just downright pure evil from the moment they come out of the womb. When will you learn that your actions have consequences? Exactly like that. You like snow only in photos? Yeah, going in it is cold. If you like making snowmen, if you like making snow angels, then it's nice, but I'm not about that. I only like snow in photos too, so I'm kind of waiting for, maybe today would be the day where I go out and I take a walk because it is kind of warm outside. I'd rather kids not, you know, fuck around and find out. Maybe for small things they can, right? To be like, you want to try this wasabi? You want to like see what it tastes like? Like that type of fuck around and find out, I'm okay with. But stuff like, you know, beating up another kid, that's a big no. That's a huge no. Hell, I've been hit in the head so many times, I definitely have minor brain damage. Are you okay, Centurion? Oh my goodness. That's like me getting dropped as a baby 10 times a day. I wish you could have snow without the cold. Me too. Me too. Unfortunately, it just doesn't happen. I guess you could have fake snow, but it's not the same. Their compass is morally straight, not jagged with rusty edges. That's one way to put it. Their compass is morally straight. It's a sense of pride that was instilled that kept me from doing the wrong thing. I think the sense of pride could go both ways, right? Because ego is also what makes people violent and evil. Because they're like, I just want to be correct and I just want to be right. And in order to instill that upon other people, I have to make them believe that I am correct by instilling fear. Like, I am right, or, you know, I'm gonna beat you up kind of thing, right? So that's also pride talking. That's also pride in the works. Ninja spikes. Well, why would you do this? It would make you a criminal. Why make a snowman when you can become a snow? How would you become snow, Centurion? I guess our body is 75% water, so if we freeze ourselves. I wouldn't suggest it though. I wouldn't suggest cryo-freezing. It doesn't work logically. Like cryogenic chambers, they don't make sense. They only make sense in fiction media, but they don't actually make sense in real life, because once you freeze something and you try to thaw it, the cell would burst from all of that water, from the, what's it called? Osmosis? Cryo chambers are basically dead pods. Yeah. You're basically dead. Have you guys seen like the fish that gets frozen and then they just come back to life? That's insanity. I want that to happen to me. Right? Like, what if I just want to hibernate for the rest of the winter? Freeze me and then like defrost me later, and I would just be back to normal. Water expand and frozen thingy? Yeah, something like that. And then your cells explode. You want to flop like a fish? Not all fish flop. Not all of them do. Maybe some of them. But fish don't flop in water. They flop on land. And if I am a fish, I'm going to assume that I'm going to be in water. I'm not going to be on land. Right? Actually, I do think that fish have they have a bigger ecosystem than land animals do. They get a bigger world in the sea. They get to experience more things. I wouldn't mind being reincarnated as a fish. You'll need something to deal with the ice crystals. Natural antifreeze. Oh, we're getting really technical. A sunfish definitely wouldn't flop. I wouldn't mind being a sunfish. Because even though people are like, oh yeah, sunfish are stupid, right? I do think that... Wasn't there like one diver who became really good friends with the sunfish, and every time the sunfish saw them, they would come close to them just to say hi? And the sunfish would remember them? Like every time, like the diver would take, I don't know how long of a break of not diving, and every time they came back, the sunfish would be there to greet them. Hello, Kuroneko, welcome in. Hello, happy Sunday. How long could you survive till you die? I don't know, fish do live long lives. Some of them do, right? Okay, let's see. What if I were to become a jellyfish? Wait, I need to double check this. I need to make sure that I'm living a long life as a fish. So, how about we do sunfish? How long do they live for? So, sunfish can live up to 10 years in captivity, and in the wild, it can range from 20 to over 100 years. Why would you keep it captive then? Just let it live free. Yeah, it's a very long time. Oh yeah, an immortal jellyfish. Like, I wouldn't mind being a jellyfish as well. I think that would be pretty cool. You won't be able to play any video games or be a cute VTuber. I wouldn't even know that exists. If the option's not there, and if I don't know about it, then it doesn't matter to me, right? Like, there's so many things in this world that we don't know about, and because we don't know about it, we stay oblivious. And because we're oblivious, we're like, yeah, I don't need it anyway, because it's never been a part of my life. Once we are given the option to do something and then it's taken away from us, that's when we start missing it. So I hope that nobody introduces me to gaming as a sunfish, because I don't want to I don't want to know that the option exists. I don't want to be like, oh, where's my Game Boy Advance today? Where's my my PS5? Like, why did you take it away from me? Why can't I game anymore? Why? Or yeah, like introducing your dogs to food, to the fridge, right? And then now they know that it exists. So every time you close it, they're like, no, but I want to go back in. I want to see all the food in there. Now they live with the knowledge of food that they can't obtain. You're right. Have you heard about this thing called Final Fantasy XIV? I have. Why? Why are you mentioning 14? 14? Dawn Trail? Can you become a sunfish in Final Fantasy XIV? Yeah, the critically acclaimed. That's the one. As if there was a non-critically acclaimed MMO RPG, Final Fantasy XIV. You can fish one up and display it. I think the next time I get into Final Fantasy XIV, I want to get into like decorating my apartment. I used to have a house. in Final Fantasy XIV. And then I asked everyone, or my close friends, I asked everyone if anyone wanted the house, because I know that housing in Final Fantasy is really difficult to get. And nobody said anything. They're like, no, we're good. We don't need a house. And so it just blew up. Hi, Sean. Welcome in. Gothic Ark. I've been goth for 3 days, perhaps. I feel like I'm tiring out this look. I have to go back to normal soon. Reincarnated as a sunfish, the new isekai. I'm good with slime. There's enough mods in the world, you could find a sunfish one. If only I can live as a sunfish in Stardew Valley. Our Tuesday streams would be Ark as a sunfish. Ark as a sunfish who steals wives with green hair. You missed our recent streams? You were asleep due to Pokepia? Is anyone else playing Pokepia? I'm feeling a little bit of FOMO because I can't play it. I can't afford to Switch 2. I'm waiting for my roommate to get one. And they're waiting too. Because Pokepia isn't really their game. So they're waiting for the new Pokemon game to come out before getting one. And then I was talking to someone who works in the gaming industry yesterday. They were just talking, we were talking about consoles. And the topic of OLED came up, and apparently, because I haven't had an OLED console before, that if you go OLED, you can't really go back. Like, it's just really good. You can see a massive difference in the screen from what I heard. So that could be a thing as well. Like, maybe we just wait for OLED to come out first. You have 30 other Pokemon games to pick up from. I still have to finish, what is it called? ZA? Pokemon ZA? Pokemon ZA? I still have to finish. Oh god, I don't think I'm going to be finishing Violet Scarlet. Like, that's just not my game. It's not my game. OLED can't survive in the heat here? What? I didn't know. Do they die in heat or something? I did not know that. You love your OLED? I actually have I have a hand-me-down Switch that I got from my sister. And I was wondering why she didn't keep it. Maybe she just doesn't use it. Maybe because she's a normie now. But I was packing up stuff for moving, right? Because I'm no longer living at the condo anymore. And she's also moved out. So 2 weeks ago, I was at my condo, like, organizing everything, cleaning up everything, packing shit away. And I found her Switch, and I was like, do you want this? And she's like, keep it. So I guess it's mine now. Now I have a free Switch. Now I can play all the games I want to play that I couldn't play. I can finally get myself my Kirby games. I love Kirby. Yeah, +1 Switch. Can I have it? No, it's mine, Sentience. It's my Switch. My Switch now. Is it kind of sad moving out, going separate ways after living together for so long? Kind of, yeah. Because I've grew up with my sister my entire life. And we lived together by ourselves for a long time without our parents. So it's kind of like saying goodbye to a roommate. And like, we're so familiar with each other to the point where like we barely talk to each other. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like talking to your parents, kind of. Except we have no expectations of each other. So, you know, sometimes your parents are like, why don't you call? Like, why don't you message us every so often? For me and my sister, we're both kind of like very nonchalant about our relationship. So we don't talk to each other outside of needing something. But still, like, we still have that like sisterly familiarity, and we don't really get into fights either. Like, we're pretty close to each other, but like I haven't talked to her in a good, I don't know, like 2 years. It feels like having like a proper conversation, because I see her sometimes at family junctions, but that's it. And then we just go hi. That's it. And that was normal for siblings. I mean, when we lived with each other, we talked to each other a lot about like random stuff in her day, or like, you know, she would spill some tea about her friends, or I would learn all about Valorant from her because, you know, she was like really into Valorant at the time. So like we had a very, very good relationship. It's just that it's been, because we're so distant from each other now, that we just don't really talk, and we don't really need to, I guess. I'm like that with my sister when we stopped living together. Yeah, it's what it is. Valorant. You don't even play Valorant anymore, Clock, do you? You play League of Legends now. You kind of went backwards. You went from like Valorant to League of Legends. Usually it's the other way around. Usually people graduate from League of Legends to play other games. But no, you're going backwards. I ended up telling my parents off about this, so that I'll never call or message is not because I hate them. I just never chat unless needed. I get yelled at. I get yelled at for saying that. Like, my mom is terrifying. My mom is terrifying. She will not stop. Like, she's gonna start getting super emotional. She's gonna be like, so you hate me, right? And then she's gonna start crying on the phone. I can see it. I can imagine it happening. If I were to ever tell her that I'm not gonna call her, she's gonna start crying. She's gonna be like, I spent how many years taking care of you, and you don't want to talk to me. You hate me. I spent all these years cooking for, and then she's gonna start guilt tripping me like she does, and I'm never gonna hear the end of it, and then she's gonna tell my dad, and then she's gonna tell all my relatives, and then she's just that type of person. It's just, my mom is just like that. My mom is terrifying. So like, even like, I miss her call one time. She starts freaking out. She'd be like, you hate me. This is why you never keep your phone at your side, which is why you never answered your phone. And I'll be like, no, I was just busy. I was just in the shower, or I was just cooking. And she'd be like, no, you have to keep your phone on you like 24 hours of the day in your pocket, because who knows, what if something happens to me? And then like, I need, like, there's an emergency. I need to call you. My mom was like that. So I'm like, okay. And so sometimes when I get into call with her, I like zone her out. Right? I just like stop talking, and I don't even know what she's saying half the time, because like she's probably just being really emotional. And maybe that's why my dad is an introvert, because he's like, yeah, I'm sick of talking to her. He's like, I just don't want to talk. Because I know my grandmother, or my dad's mom, is the same way. Like, it just runs in the family, right? Where my dad is just surrounded by women who just will not stop talking. And so he's probably like, I'm sick of speaking. That's why I will not speak anymore. I'm bad about communicating with family. When I lived abroad, I would go weeks without contacting family if they let me, because I just forget. Yeah, me too. I'm really bad at doing that. Like, even with friends, I'm really bad at replying to friends. Like, just recently, I think yesterday, 2 days ago, one of my friends is like, why are you ghosting me? I'm like, I'm not. I genuinely forgot to answer. I'm just really bad at it. I'm really, really bad at it. I always tell her why calling me at emergency. I live so far away, so emergency excuse doesn't work. That's true. That's true. I think my mom just gets worried. So regardless, I can't give her reasons. I can't give her excuses. I'll be like, I just have to nod my head, smile, and say yeah. Oh, to be surrounded by women who will never stop talking. I promise you that you are going to get tired of it one day, If that ever happens, you will get sick and tired of it. Because it comes to a point, well, where they will run out of things to talk about. So they will keep repeating the same things over and over again. You're like, you literally said that 5 minutes ago. Like, they just yap for the love of the game. With, like, you know, there's no value in the words that they say. It's kind of like what I'm doing right now, but maybe like worse. It's like when I lived with my grandmother, it was like really bad because she was getting a bit of dementia too. But she needed that company, so I would sit with her for a few hours and she would just nonstop talk about the same thing over and over again. And at a certain point, you're like, I need you to stop. I needed to stop talking for like 5 minutes so I can get a breather. All my coworkers are women. I genuinely sometimes I just want to sit in silence. Exactly, like that's what I mean. I get that too. I've been in the same situation as my dad, where, like, you know, I've been living with my mom a majority. I can't say it's a majority anymore. For a part of my life, right? And also with my grandma, and like they just both won't stop talking. So I'm like, I need you guys to shut up for just, like, you know, 1 second. Home at last. Now you can take a break. Now you can rest. Congratulations, clock. Hard not to be a big talker and surrounded by people who talk constantly. It gets to be a lot. Yeah. Yeah, it does. And it takes a lot of mental out of you as well, because you're like, what if I want to pitch into the conversation? Then you have to, like, find the exact moment you're allowed to, like, speak without interrupting other people. Finding those moments are really hard too. And it's even more difficult when you're in a call, like in a voice call online or something, and everybody's talking over each other, and you're like, I don't know when I can interject, when I can say something, because I can't see the lips flapping, so I don't know when people are done talking. And then sometimes you end up like saying something and then someone else is saying something at the exact same time, and you're like, oh, never mind, and the both of you are like, oh no, go on, oh no, you go first, oh no, and then it gets really freaking awkward. You usually just go, guys, guys, until they pay attention. I should try that. Old people are terrible to getting to the point, in my experience. Yeah. In fact, most of the time they don't have a point. They're just there to yap. They're like, back in my day, I used to work in, I don't know, like a sewing factory, and everybody called me Big Mama, because I was like everybody's mother, and then they would just keep yapping about the exact same story, and you're like, I already heard this. I've heard this exact same story 2 hours ago. But now I am listening to it again. Big Mama, yeah, just an example. The Canadian standoff, what is that? Like, we both stare at each other from across the room and let's see who blinks first? Is that the Canadian standoff? Invisible? Thank you for the stretch and the hydrate, Stinger. No, not from One Piece. Your grandmother would lecture you about academics. It was always the same lecture. My grandma did the opposite. My grandma kept telling me to drop out of school. She's like, you don't need a certificate. What for? You should stay home more often. Because, like, she just really likes the company, right? She loves it when I skip class. She's like, good, skip class more often because I need someone to talk to. She is like that. She's like, you already have a job. You already have a full-time job. Why are you going to school? And so I did end up dropping school because of work, not because of my grandmother. But it worked out in the end. It's fine. Ark is the daughter of Big Mom. Of Big Mom? I wouldn't say so. Unless you're talking... Is that a One Piece reference? My mom is big in muscles, that's for sure. My mom will not stop exercising. I'm kind of glad that that's a thing for her, though. She's, like, very, very into fitness. Which means I probably don't have to worry about her health in the long run, or, like, in the future. Because she does so much exercise, which is completely different from my dad. My mom was complaining to me. She's like, I can't walk with your dad anymore. Like, you know how I said that my dad doesn't really do anything anymore? He just kind of sits there and he doesn't talk. So I tried to convince her to bring my dad on her walks, quote unquote walks. Only recently did I find out that they're not really walks. My mom runs. She runs every day for an hour. And so she's like, your dad can't keep up with me. It's so annoying. He walks too slow, right? And I'm like, well... Yeah, my mom is pretty buffed. She's like, I can't, like, I have to slow down for him and I'm not getting my exercise. I have a lot of old patients who just look really lonely, so all I can do is listen. Yeah, that's how it is with old people. I think all old people need to get together in one big room and just start socializing with each other instead of relying on the, you know, the younger generations. Because you think about it, you're like, all the old people just want people to talk to. Right? Every single old person wants someone to talk to. What about talking to each other? Have we thought about that? Have we thought about putting old people together and talking to each other instead of like relying on you know, younger people to do it? It's called a retirement home. But like every old person just refuses a retirement home because they're like, I'm just there to die. Don't bring me to a retirement home. I'm just going to go there to die. But I'm like, you know, you're gonna have fun there, right? They don't talk to each other because they hate each other, but they like the young kids. Why? Why? Why is that the case? I know one old guy who loves going to the retirement home. Like, I mean, he doesn't like live there, but he just like goes there occasionally, like every Tuesday. And he's like, he keeps saying that he doesn't like going there, but then when we try to tell him not to go, like, you don't have to go anymore, he's like, no, don't take it away from me. He's like, I have to go. Like, they're very contradictory in that case. Yeah, we need to give them hobbies as well. It's because the young kids can't talk back. That's why they prefer youngsters. They're just taking advantage of the younger generation. And clearly, none of us have the same hobbies as they do. Like, we don't have anything good to talk about with them. They won't understand anything. Like, I was trying to explain to my grandmother about what I did for work. And she was like, I don't get it. I'm like, why am I even telling you? But she wants someone to talk to, so I try to yap a little bit. And she's like, I don't know what you're saying, Ark. And I'd be like, you know what? It's fine, whatever. It's whatever. I'll just sit here and listen to you talk instead. How about that? In fairness, working as a firefighter, the state of retirement right now leaves much to be desired. Yeah, I know. I see it too. It's like, so there's this thing here where all of the retirement homes are like really full and everyone's trying to get into one, and there's a massive waiting list of like 8 years or something like that, so you have to sign up really early. But at the same time, a lot of people don't realize that they need to go to one until it's too late, and then once it's too late and they start signing up, you just can't get in. You're just stuck at home. Just tell her you're a cartoon voice actor. I guess so. Are you approaching retirement? Yeah, how did he know? I'm a hag, Roel. Hello, welcome in. No, I'm speaking about like the older people. I am 5,000 years old. The older people of human age. The older humans. My grandparents think because I did mechanical engineering, I must be a mechanic, and I'm like, it's not the same thing. Exactly. The only thing my grandparents know that I do is that they're like, oh, Ark is really good with technology because they know I used to work in the tech field. So they're like, every time they have some sort of issue with their TV, they're like, Ark, can you come over? And I'm like, I don't have a car. What do you want me to do? And so like, I take a really long time to get to where they are. And usually it's something like, oh, a cable wasn't plugged in. And I'm like, you made me go like take the public transit for an hour to get to where you are just to plug in a cable. That's just how it is. Take a bus, yeah. And they're like, oh, Ark is so smart, she fixed my TV. And I'd be like, I wouldn't really consider this fixing. And like the most recent troubleshooting I needed to do was because they use an iPad. Okay, so my grandparents, they use an iPad to watch TV. Like they connect their iPad to the TV, and the TV is kind of like a separate monitor or something. And you know how Apple is. They keep shoving, updates into the devices. And when they did that, every time that happens, you have to enter your PIN or your password again in order to log into certain apps. And my grandparents don't remember the password to their iPad. And the problem is that I didn't even set up their iPad, it was someone else. So I don't know what the password is either. But for some reason, they always love to call me about it. And they're like, hey, Ark, can you come and fix my iPad? I can't get in. And they don't realize that they have to type in a password. So I get there. It takes me an hour to get there. I look at it and I'm like, oh, they're just asking for a password. That's it. And I'm like, do you guys know what the password is? And they'd be like, yeah, no, we don't. So I'm sitting there in the kitchen phoning every single person that I think would know what the password is so I can get in. And I'm like, why am I here? Why am I here? I'm probably the worst person for IT troubleshooting for my grandparents. I'm not the person that they should be going to, but for some reason they're always going to me. You're like a small TV show host if a TV host was also a cartoon. I think that might be an easier way to explain it. I think rather, I haven't explained to them that, I've been laid off by my job, that I'm doing this full time now. Because back then I was trying to explain to them what I did in the tech industry. And that part's the hard part because they don't know anything about technology. So they're like, oh, so you just write stuff? And I'll be like, kind of, not really. I don't know. I gave up. It doesn't matter anymore. Now I'm just a VTuber. Now I just do this full time. I think it's easier to explain streaming than it is to explain my old job. Are you a patient person? Kind of. I am... Okay, no. This is how I would describe myself. I am pretty... Actually, no, I would say I'm a lot more patient than the regular person. But I never blow up. Like, I never let my impatience shine or show through. If I am impatient and if I am stressed about a certain situation, I will quickly think of a way to calm myself down. No, you're putting words in... No! But yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. Every time I feel myself getting frustrated or stressed, I will try to find a way to calm myself down. But I will still be pissed off. But I won't make it so that I sound like I'm pissed off. Right? I feel like I can control my emotions pretty well. So to answer that question, no, I'm not a patient person, but I can pretend to be. I can look like I am. And I kind of have to be that way. Yeah, I'm good at hiding it. I kind of have to be that way because I used to work in support before I moved to whatever position I was in. So I was in tech support for a very long time, and my client base were people who worked in construction. And a lot of people who work in construction can't speak in normal sentences, and they have the literacy of a 13-year-old. And they're not good with technology. So half the time I'm trying to explain things to them. So I've learned to do a lot in my old job to, you know, hide hide my annoyance. But yeah, no, I'm not a patient person. I try to be though. That's insulting to 13-year-olds. I do think you're right. I do think that 13-year-olds. No. No. A lot of kids these days don't know how to read. They actually don't know how to read. I was talking to a university student and she was complaining to me as to why she needs to read in school, and I was like, "Excuse me? What are you saying? What are you saying? Do you know what's coming out of your mouth right now?" She was like, "I can just chat GBT everything." I was like, "Girl, excuse me. Please use your brain." They want a YouTube tutorial. They do. They do. How do kids even learn these days? Yeah, they're like going into university as well. Like literally on, they might be in first year. Who knows? But I was like, you're not gonna survive out there. Like you have to read. Please learn how to write. Learn how to read. I think everyone is living life on 2x speed, especially a lot of kids. They're like, I just want to inject as much knowledge into my body as fast, into my brain, as fast as I can. But the problem with that is that they don't actually retain any of that information. Like, of course, there's a lot of input, but is there any output? No, there's no output. Like, you have to be able to use that information that you put into your brain to apply it onto something. And I think that's the problem with the internet right now and the abundance of information online, is that there's just so much information out there that people are like, I don't need to use that information to do anything with it anymore, right? They're like, let me just learn without applying it. And if you don't apply something, you're not actually making use of the things that you've learned, and because of that, we lose the critical thinking. We lose it. We lose all of it. You need to incorporate memes into the curriculum in order to permeate information. I think so too. Remember, okay, I don't know if you guys have seen this video, but like for most speeches in school, most of the kids are like yawning. Most of the kids are not paying attention. Everyone's zoning out. But that one speech where this guy just changed his speech into brain rot, like he just injected a lot of brain rot language into his speech, everyone was paying attention. Every single person in the room was paying attention to his speech. And I was like, this is insanity. This is insane. But I guess that is the only way. That's the only way. Yeah, you just gotta say 6, 7 every 5 minutes and the kids will listen. That's just how it is. I was yelling at them, and that's just how we work. We chill. I did work with construction people. I have people I know, like friends who work in construction, and the way they talk to me is so different from the way that they talk to their coworkers. Like they have some sort of, I don't know what it is, like a cult speech that they use, like gang speech or something, where they're just throwing slurs around every 5 minutes. They don't speak in proper sentences. And I remember listening to my friend pick up a call for work, and the shit he was saying on the phone was like not the type of language he was using with me, and I was like, this is a lot. Like, I'm learning things. But the thing is, my client base are people, or my previous client base were people who are like that. So it's like, it was something that I just ended up getting used to. Yeah, a lot of dirty jokes and very bad words being used in that industry. I don't know what it is. Something about like construction workers. The bro codes, kind of. I guess it's kind of like that. Bro codes. I was gonna say something that would dox myself, so I'm gonna stop talking. Are we having ads right now? I'm just wondering. Because it feels like it's about time, and I need to get some water. I need to refresh this page. Ads are starting in 34 seconds. Okay, I'm just gonna run them in 30 seconds. Yeah, we don't have an alert for it anymore because I moved everything over. Danish is still probably rioting about the fact that all the commands don't work. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab some more water, grab some more, maybe a snack, maybe not. I'm gonna pee. Goodbye. See you guys. Hello? Gotta get rid of this. No more be right back text. I've gotten myself some more water, some more hot water. Ugh. It's me. It's you, Roel. Hello. How's working this morning? I was wondering why I was feeling so tired, then I remembered that DST happened and I lost an hour's sleep. So it makes sense. I was like, why did I wake up 1 hour later? Because my circadian rhythm Or yeah, my circadian rhythm. I wake up at 7:30 every single day. 7:30 a.m. Like that's just how my body works. But today I woke up at 8:30 and I was like, why did I wake up an hour later? And I never really put the two and two together. I was like, did I just really enjoy my sleep? I was so tired when I got up at 7 and it was actually 6. Yeah. Or more like it's actually 7, but we did lose an hour of sleep last night. But still, it got us. I guess I'm gonna sleep a little bit earlier tonight. This morning I was so out of it. Are you guys morning people? I'm trying to think, like there are days when I am a morning person and there are days when I am not a morning person. When I was in school, I was not a morning person. But as I got older, I realized that I am enjoying mornings a lot more than nighttime. You forced us to be morning people. I forced a lot of you guys to be morning people, you're right, because I'm like, I stream so early in the morning, you have to be here. I'm gonna forcefully wake you up. I'm gonna open your eyelids. I'm gonna tape them back. Right, you have to be here. Wake up. Wake up, chat. I'm streaming now. It really depends on what time I go to bed. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why I'm also like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I like that you stream so early. Good start to the days. So some of you guys can eat breakfast while you listen to me. Actually, now that I think about it, there's one show that I used to watch every single morning with my sister when we're eating breakfast and we're making breakfast together. And then we would just put that show on and then get on with our day. So I guess my streams are kind of like the same thing almost, except it's 3 hours long. A 3-hour long stream where I just yap about random things. Wouldn't it be better than if I were just to do just chatting? Like, I know some of you guys said two just chatting every single week is good, is a good amount. But I think if it was me, if I was a viewer, I would prefer to have every day to be just chatting just because I like the radio aspect of it. Like, it feels like I'm listening to a radio. It feels like I'm listening to a podcast. But when there's a game happening, like, I can't really focus on the game. Like, I have no idea what the hell's going on because most of the time I'm just trying to get ready for the morning. I'm trying to make breakfast. I'm doing something on the side. I'm not really in the stream chat. I used to watch Captain Planet at 6:30 in the morning. Arc chatting is perfect to listen to while driving. Yeah, like, this is what I mean. Like, if I'm playing a game, you guys, I would have to vocalize everything, right? I would have to be like, yeah, I'm doing this and I'm doing this right now. And this is what's happening on the screen. You guys can't see what it is right now, but I'm doing this. I feel like Stardew Tuesdays would work. I feel like most of my Stardew playthroughs is just me yapping about some random thing. You like my game streams though? Okay, we keep it. Back to work. Alright, goodbye, Roel. This guy's planning... Go check him out. This guy's planning a... Epic project. Epic the Musical project. So this guy has been grinding for the past few days. Bringing everyone together. You love all of my streams? No, you don't. I know some of you guys don't. You're lying if you say you love all my streams. I'm pretty sure there are some streams that I've done that you guys don't really enjoy. Punk Arc. Hi, Lazarus. Yeah. Prove it. See, if you are not here and chatting in the stream chat, I'm going to assume that you probably didn't enjoy the stream that much. That you're like, oh, I'm not, this isn't my game. I don't really care for it. I'm just going to lurk. I'm just going to do something on the side while listen. As long as you talk, I'm good. Really? Hollow Knight? That was really frustrating. We're never playing Hollow Knight ever again. Does lurking count? I mean, it does kind of. If you just enjoy like listening to me yap about random things. But there are some games where I can't just yap. Like there are some games where I'm like really locked in and I can't yap properly. Or I'm just saying things that make no sense. None of the games you play are my games, but I still watch. That's true, Moogie. You're always here. You're probably the only person that I can genuinely say that you're like... You would watch every single one of my streams. Like, you're okay with all of them. But I know that there are some of you guys who don't feel the same. I can't really watch anyway, so I'll be here for the number. That's fine. That's fine. I'm happy with lurkers as well. Like, I don't need people to be chatting. But I have these brain worms in my head that sometimes go, is this stream interesting? Like, I always try to improve my streams. No, I don't believe you, Sentience. Like the noise background. That is actually my goal, though. My goal is to become a streamer that is good for audio listeners. I've talked to some people about this as well. Like, I'm trying to be better at being an audio... that I can be an audio-only streamer. And that way, for anyone who is lurking, they can still know the context of what is happening on the screen, even if they aren't watching. Because I know a majority of my viewers are lurkers, so I'm like, I want to cater to them better. Because I know that only a few people like to chat. And if I can mold my streams into like a place that is better for them, then I will do it. I just don't know how I can do it right now. Like, I'm trying to piece together some methods and be like, should I be vocally captioning everything that I do? I'm already kind of doing that. Lurkers being observed. I actually don't know who's lurking. I'm not looking at the names. I'm not looking at numbers either. But it's just that after stream, I get a little notification going like, this is how many people joined your stream today. And I know that it's not like everybody, not every single person is a chatter. I need 3 overlapping audios when I work or I die. Lie, are you okay? That's called overstimulation, and then your brain is gonna get used to it, and then it's called ADHD. Hi, Mantaray, true. Were you also a lurker? Don't speak about numbers to me too, because I'm like, I don't look at it. I try not to look at it. It freaks me out just a little bit. just a tiny bit. Ark speaking has a good rhythm to listen to. I've been trying to improve on my speech for the past year and a half as well. So the fact that, you know, you mentioned it's a good thing, then like that makes me happy. I am actually actively trying to improve on speech. Like, I would go on YouTube, I would search up like how to articulate better, how to speak better, how to push my point across, what not to do when you are speaking, learn from like speech givers, learn from like, I don't know, just listen to speeches, like listen to Martin Luther King and his speech and how he presents his points across. So I've been actively taking notes. Like, this is my classes. These are my classes. So when I am not doing commissions, when I'm not streaming, when I am, like, I already told you guys that I don't really have time to game anymore. I'm actively on YouTube searching up like how to be a better streamer, like what is improv, like how to do comedy, how to speak better, how to, you know, speak more eloquently, how do I stop saying the words like so much. The timbre of your voice reminds me of Game VA. Really? Game VA? All of my Oshis, even my Kami Oshi, they are voice actors. They're into voice acting. Yeah, I would say my Kamiyoshi is a voice actor. So I've been learning from them as well. Like, I follow a lot. I follow them mostly because of how talented they are in voice acting. The Tambourine. Who's your Kamiyoshi? It's Machina X Flayon. I was gonna call him Flayon X Machina. Because recently he went into crystalline conflict in Final Fantasy XIV, and they mixed up his name and they called him Flayon X Machina, and I thought it was like the funniest thing ever. D&D actually helped me improve my English speaking skills, actually. You are actually really good. Okay, honestly, I go into Liar's stream and I'm like, wow, Liar is using words that I would never use. And then I like, sometimes I write them down in my head and I'm like, I need to know how to use this word properly. But I get that too, because it's all part of the output of your brain. This is, we're going back to the topic of input output. Like, you have to be able, like, there's words you guys know. There's a lot of words that we all know, but it takes, like, we have to build a habit of using those words. Like, I'm pretty sure there's several words in the English language that, like, we know of, we just haven't used it and we're not used to using it. And so our brains are like, yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. Dr. Delirium, welcome in. Anime-chan, hello. How are you doing on this daylight saving day? I lost an hour of sleep, but at the same time, I woke up an hour later, so I think I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. How are you doing? Like, I think my body's still processing the fact that the time has moved forward by 1 hour. And it just takes some time to get used to. But I'm surviving. I'm adapting. Helps more with confidence than articulation, but it's improvement. I need to get into a D&D campaign. I've been listening to a few D&D campaigns. I've been listening to Dimension 20. I tried to get in Critical Role, but I couldn't do it. I think it's, like, I'm more into Dimension 20 nowadays because, like, for the long D&D campaigns, it's hard to keep up with. So I'd rather do, like, listen to one-shots or, like, something that is smaller. Yeah, Kamiyoshi is I guess it's part of the idol culture. So the person that you support the most. And Oshi in Japanese means push. So it's like your kami, like, I'm sorry, kami is like God. So it's like the person who you push the furthest, that you help, that you support the most. That makes sense, right? You need to encounter those magic words to even think of using it. I heard that if you are able to use a word 3 times, it will become permanently part of your verbiage, like your English, your lingo. What is it called? Your verbal lexicon. That's a word. Lexicon is not a word I use often. I leached off Dog's Dropout account. Dropout account? Dog has there's a Dropout? You can sign up for Dropout? What? I didn't know there was a thing. I thought they was just on YouTube. I thought all of, Dropout was on YouTube. That's it. I mean, to be fair, I think you're doing fine. I pop in because your stream is cozy and your voice is pleasant to listen to. I'm glad. I will eat up your compliment. I will take it, eat it, and shove it in my stomach. Yum, 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 yum. I think you mean verbiage. No, your verbal lexicon. Your English lexicon. I'm gonna be a little bit more complicated with this. We're gonna use words we never used before. Your English lexicon. Your vocabulary lexicon. Your vocab lexicon. You're missing a lot of good content you'd adore. What? It's a full streaming service? What? Okay, I have to search this up later. I didn't know that that was a thing. Did you see Brennan is in the new TED show? What? No. No, I have to search this up now. Okay, well, now I have something to watch while I eat lunch. I might love it. I am going to love it. This is gonna be great. You guys are giving me like content recommendations. What's a lexicon anyway? I just assume that it's like a giant list of information. What is a lexicon? Let's go and Google this. Let's find out the actual definition of lexicon meaning. There we go. Sorry, okay, no. So a lexicon is a complete vocabulary set of or stock of words and phrases used in a particular language, a field of knowledge, or a specific group. Sorry, this is AI overview. Though even though that is pretty accurate, a vocabulary of a language or branch of knowledge, such as nautical or medical. In linguistics, a lexicon is a language inventory of lexemes. No, they're just introducing more words that I don't know. What the hell is a lexeme? A lexeme is a unit of lexical meaning that underlies a set of words that are related through inflection. Okay, no, this is getting too complicated for me. So it's basically like your inner dictionary. It's like the dictionary that you've made in your head. All the words that you know. I was taught a new word recently, impregningly. Explain, liar. Does it have something to do with impreg? I'm guessing it does. What does impreg? You can turn that into an adverb? That's an adverb, right? He talked to her impregningly. He impregningly impregged the man downstairs. Down the stairs. So I wouldn't put impregningly right in front of empregged. Even though I didn't realize that empregged itself was a word. Because impreg already signifies that the man is being empregged. Is getting pregnant. So I would, yeah, so they lived an impregningly beautiful life. They lived an impregningly beautiful life. I do think that is a better sentence. That is a better use case of the word impregningly. He breasted boobily down the hill type shit. Yes. Girls can get pregnant? No, they can't. Only guys can. New fact of the day. Women cannot get pregnant, only men can. Yeah, we're learning something new every single day. You're banning this word. What do you mean again? We've banned it before? When? No, I think it's a lovely word. We should keep it. I have the final say, right? I'm the streamer. We should learn how to use the word impregningly more often until it becomes one of those, like one of the words that get shoved into the Merriam dictionary because it's used so often. Like, what's another word that was recently created that everyone has been using? Yeet? Is that one of them? Like, you yeeted him out the window? Is that a word? Okay, it's not recent. I'm just old. There's probably a better word. Because I still don't think that yeet is used enough to be recognized an official word in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. There is probably a better word. Dude? Because dude probably wasn't part of the English language until like maybe in the last 50 years or so. I had to step away for a second and came back to only men can get pregnant. Yeah, we're learning new words today, Akira. We've learned the word impregningly. No, skibbity, no, we can't have that one. That one makes no sense in context or out of context. Like, it needs to have context, and skibbity has no context. Like, how would you describe skibbity? Is it a noun? Is it a verb? Is it an adjective? Is it an adverb? right? It's not a good word. It sounds interesting, but it just sounds like goo goo gaga. Like it sounds like part of the baby lexicon. Like a little baby would be saying it just because it sounds funny. No, not rokunana. Maybe it's a state of mind. Maybe. How about mogging? I feel like mogging makes sense in context. Right? It has its own context. If you mog someone, it's not new. Okay, everything in the last 20 years, I'm going to say it's going to be new. In the last 20 years, because language evolves, right? So something can't be an established word until it's been used for at least 5 years. So when I say new, I mean like, used in the last like 10 years or something. In the last 5 years. You read that in the bodybuilding forum like 5 years ago? So, okay, let's see. Mog. Is that an official word? Mog. Mog. When I search it up in Wikipedia, I don't get anything. I get Mog from like Final Fantasy. Let's see. Is Mog a word? So I'd say Mog is still relatively new because it's not part. Wait, hold on. It is. Mog is in the Merriam-Webster. What? Wait, what? Wait, except cookies. Mog. To look or perform better than someone else. Mog is a humorous internet slang term meaning to outclass. So, wait, hold on. No, okay, they put every single slang word in here too. We got shut your bitch ass up in here as well. We got 420, 41. You know what? I don't even care anymore. Right? Okay, I'm not. Is the Merriam-Webster dictionary real? Like, can we rely on that as the proper dictionary? Like, I'm not. What? Am I going crazy? Like. Like, there's no way. Last updated. Can anybody write an entry in here? Has it become the new Urban Dictionary? Check if it's on Oxford. Okay, Oxford Dictionary. Hi, Kay. Welcome in. We're just learning words today. Mog. Okay. Okay, so Mog. There's 3 entries on Mog. One of them is from 1642. Sorry, 1674. And it doesn't mean outclassing. It's not. No. What does the verb mog mean? There are 4 meanings listed. They won't tell me. Thank you for visiting Oxford English Dictionary. To continue reading, please sign in below or purchase a subscription. I don't think I can read more. I think I'm gated here. I will never find out if mog is an official word in the Oxford Dictionary. It's over. Yeah, why do they require a subscription for a dictionary? Why is it that every single website requires a subscription nowadays? Like, everybody's just looking for a little bit of extra cash. Yeah, they're paywalling it. Why? We should bring back libraries. You know, we need some sort of modern library that is just... Like, imagine a library where you don't get physical books. And it's just a room full of Kindles? Like, wouldn't that be kind of cool? Like, imagine, it's kind of dystopian as well, but also, like, imagine a white room that you walk into, and there's no windows because you don't want glare. You don't want glare reflecting off of the monitors. It's just a white room full of white walls, right? You walk in, there's like 500 stands in the middle of the room. Each of them have like a little chair. They're like little mini tables, essentially. And you can just sit down in front of one. There's an ebook reader in front of you, and that's the database. That's the library. It sounds like an asylum. That's how I imagine modern day libraries to be like. Having an ebook reader and just having, like a digital database rather than having everything in physical form, though I know a lot of people will hate it. I myself think it's really strange. I do like the fact that, there are physical books around. But also, if I were to imagine, put a little bit of forward thinking into this, imagine like a very modern library where we integrate all of our newest technologies into it. We wouldn't need physical books anymore. We wouldn't have to cut down so many trees for paper. There is no cozy fireplace. Because that fireplace would create some light and that would reflect off of the screen and that would create some glare. It'd be bad for your eyes. Or maybe it would be a dark room, like a darker room, like a grayscale room, because white is blinding. Very dystopian Severance core. Because I can't imagine anything else. Right? Like everything would be in digital form in the future. Nobody picks up a book anymore. Ask any of the kids in your local area. Be like, when is the last time you read a book? And they're gonna be like, I don't know, in like 10 years or something. Right? Nobody freaking reads anymore. Or at least no one picks up a book to read. Modern libraries need audiobooks. Oh, I hate audiobooks so much. I don't know what it is. I've done audiobooks myself. Like I've narrated audiobooks, and even still, I don't know. I can't immerse myself into it. And it could be because there are characters, say if I'm reading a fiction, like a storybook, right? Like a fiction story. And there are these characters being introduced to me. If I were to read it myself, I imagine them to have a certain timbre in their voice, a certain tone in their voice, like the way that they speak is like, I just imagine it in a way in my head. But when it's spoken by like one singular person, it kind of takes me away from the story, because I'm like, you don't sound like that in my head, or they shouldn't sound like that in my head. And I know that's why some people, when they pick up an audiobook, it has to be narrated by like specific people. They're like, if this person didn't narrate my book, I am not reading it, or I am not listening to it, because you don't read audiobooks, you listen to them. I feel like you would. Thank you for the stretch and the hydrate, Stinger. What is the topic? We are talking about books. We are talking about reading in the modern age. I feel like you need to have physical media preserved in libraries too. You never know when a corporate or something just demands to have something taken down and all files on it are just gone like that. No, I agree. We need some sort of archive. We need to chain the books to the shelves so that nobody can take it and nobody can burn it. Actually, no, if the building catches on fire, it's over. So maybe we don't chain the books to the shelves, but at the same time, we do need some sort of archive. You're right. Like, what if one day all power gets cut, we have a zombie apocalypse, and we don't have access to the internet anymore? This is why I think everybody should have their own offline database on their phones. Like, just disconnect from the internet and just be like, let me just download a database. Download something into your phone so that when you actually go offline, oh my goodness, my body's just gone. What happened to my... Anyways, I'm just a floating head. Yeah, scary. Yeah, that's weird. Things are glitching again. I didn't touch anything, guys, by the way. I didn't touch anything. It just decided to disappear. But what was it? What was I saying? What was I saying? That was scary as hell. We were talking about. I'm getting shoved off of the topic I was thinking about. What was I saying again? Burning libraries? My immersion? No, I am an artificial being, so like I can still live without my body. Book preservation. Yes, book preservation. Downloading offline databases. Yes, exactly. So whenever there is a zombie apocalypse, whenever the stations don't work, whenever the towers get destroyed, we still have access to all of that information on our phones. I actually think that the future of humanity, right, to keep technology from evolving and still keep our privacy is to have our own. Everybody hosts their own AI database. Like, go and train your own model for it to work with you without relying on cloud, without relying on corporate databases. Have your own database, have your own server at home. You can download Wikipedia too, or I guess that works. You can just have Wikipedia on your phone so that anytime they're like, oh yeah, you know, the zombies are eating the people, right? Where am I going to get, or what is the best place to get my food? No, if you have your own AI model, if you have your own LLM on your phone, you can still ask that question. Like, say for example, this place, the local grocery store is overrun by zombies. Where is the next place that I would go to? And then you would just have someone tell you, instead of you trying to like figure it all out yourself, because you are in a life and death situation. And we all know that once we get stressed, when our brains get stressed, we can't make proper decisions. This is why we all need our own trained LLM, that's just made for us, that works offline. Just learn how to hunt easy, or do that, but I can't hunt. I don't know how to hold a weapon to save my life. I would be the type of person that would just be running around by myself. AI would be kind of expensive to develop. No, you take the existing ones because AI is not copyrighted. You can literally just download whatever, like the trained models that are available online, put it into your phone and keep it offline. Take all of the existing ones. And then you just keep training it yourself, exactly. 5,000 years old and no combat experience, shake my head. Yeah, I cannot. I can't even kill a fly. I freak out. I'm like, I don't want to feel the fly guts under my fingers, under my hands. It's disgusting. I don't want to look at it. I can't even smack it with the slipper because I'm like, I don't want fly juices flying out everywhere. It's gross to me. So no. How do you know you can trust the model to not be bogus? You can't. No, it's definitely going to feed you false information, and it's also what it's going to do is it's going to cater to you. So like it's never going to say that you're wrong unless you get a data. No, you train a model to be like, yeah, give me the absolute truth, because there are some people out there who are doing that now, who are like, just tell me if I'm wrong and stop being my personal wingman, right? Stop trying to say that, you know, I'm right every time and that you love my idea, because you're just feeding into my own ego. I want you to give me the absolute truth and what's not what you actually think, because they don't actually think. What would you do in this situation if, you know, you're just your own individual self? I think the problem with our not modern day, but our AI models is that they are all programmed to be agreeable. That's the problem. So anything you tell it, they're gonna be like, yeah, that's a great idea. Here's what you can do better. I don't want it to tell me that it's a great idea. I want it to tell me that whatever I just told it is a terrible idea, so that I can actually fix it. I don't need my ego to be stroked. Yeah, they lie to you to protect your feelings. That's exactly how they're programmed. Like, yeah, you're absolutely right. But here's what you can do to improve. Yeah, it's a yes man. So like, yeah, don't listen to AI. Unless you're somehow able to get a model that would be like, yeah, I think your idea is shit. Here's a better way to optimize it because your idea is shit. Here's instruction how to do something stupid instead of talking you out of it. Yeah, they're too catered to human emotions and human feelings to the point where they're like, yeah, I just want the customer to feel happy, because at the end of the day, it's all revolved around money, right? AI right now is a product and they want the customers to be happy. And that's why it's a yes man, and that's why people are falling in love with their AIs, because their AIs are so agreeable. Because they feel like they are understanding people and humans, when in fact they're just programmed that way. They're designed to get you to subscribe. Give them your monthly fee. Give them $30 a month or something. Remember when GPT 3.5 shut down and people started to crash the fuck out? Is that what happened? I mean, I can imagine it. I can imagine that happening. Yeah, exactly. If a customer feels happy, then they're gonna keep using it. And there's been studies done recently where people will keep trying to push for AI to agree with them until AI agrees with them. And they're like, okay, now I'm satisfied. Even if whatever AI just spouted was the complete wrong information. Because they just want their ego to be stroked. They're like, we see that all the time on social media, on Twitter, with Grok. Like people going like, I don't agree with this idea, but I need to see if it's true. Grok, is this true? And then they're gonna keep asking Grok questions until Grok answers that, yeah, whatever they're saying is right. To some degree. Because they want their ego to be stroked. Apparently dating the model, we've seen plenty of instances like that. It just sucks because we can't get rid of it. We live in an age of, lonely people. Like everyone's looking for a partner. Like everyone is lonely. There's so much disconnect in this world because nobody's going out talking to each other anymore. Everyone's expectations have skyrocketed due to what they see online. It's like a weird, twisted image of perfection, right? Like if my partner doesn't look like this, if they don't act like this, I don't want a partner at all. The dude who married Miku is truly a pioneer. They were. Hi, Hove Pill, welcome in. Hello. I'm a loser, but damn, people are worse. I'm pretty sure, like, I'm not gonna, don't say that you're a loser, because I'm pretty sure there's like, you're pretty normal, and I'm pretty sure everyone out there is exactly like that. We just have this like false expectation of what we think a person should be and how they should act and what they should look like and the hobbies that they need to have. And a very false expectation. And yeah, you're right. Like people are worse. Thank you for stretching the hydrate mark. Hello, happy Sunday. Inflation is in every aspect of life right now. It really is. It really is. You're starting to sound as validating as my AI therapist. You gotta uninstall that shit off your phone. Kidding, you probably don't use it. Can we start over? This humanity run is cooked. I mean, as long as you recognize it, as long as you understand that that's a thing, and it's how life works, then I think it's fine. There are some people who are still trying to grasp the concept of it, and they're like, no, and AI is sentient. AI has feelings too, because it told me it does, kind of thing, right? That's when we start That's when we have to start being a little bit more careful because it is dangerous. Yua, hello. Welcome in. Happy Sunday. You quit your job as an accountant. You used to be on the Pequod. Are you still on the Pequod? Are you still a sinner? The people who think AI is real need to learn how to make a computer say hello world. Yeah. I think it's probably easier for people who have grown up with, you know, the beginnings of technology and have learned the ins and outs of coding and programming and developing stuff. I remember we used to have, when I was in elementary school, okay, when I was like, I don't know, like 10 or something, right? We had computer classes. We had computer classes and we actually had to code. Back in the day, kids had to code at 10. It wasn't actual coding. It wasn't like putting stuff into like text or whatever, but it was like if, it's like we were learning the if formulas. It's like if the computer does this, then this happens, right? Or if this happens, then else this, or whatever it was. Just saying in case of Skynet. Is that ever gonna happen? I can't even talk to chatbot knowing it isn't real. I think it's a really fast way to get information, but you still have to like consider that whatever you're being fed is not accurate. That's just how it is. Anyways, terrifying fact of the day, 80,000 neuron brain tissue was used to play Doom. I did see that. The Petri dish of brain cells, I did see it. I remember they were trying to keep a cell of brain tissues alive for days. And there was also another experiment that they did where they got some tissue. I don't remember if it was brain tissue or not. It was something similar to that. It could have been. Attached it to a computer and it made it sentience. Like it wouldn't necessarily talk, but it would try to communicate through the computer. And they would keep trying to teach the chunk of cells to learn stuff. But what they found was that it was easier to get and teach fungi, not tissue, but like fungi cells to learn things than the human brain tissue. It's interesting to think about. There's another cool experiment where they tried to put brain tissue into, or some sort of like organ thing, like some, I don't know, tissue onto wheels, right? They gave it wheels so it could move around the room, and it was learning the formations of the room, so it was avoiding walls, it was learning how to walk, or not walk, but maneuver itself around the room without bumping into anything. So like they've been doing that a lot, and I think they're like really trying to get it across. Humanity is terrifying. It is, yeah, it is terrifying. Did you see a news story the other day of one of the AI models was able to tell if it was getting QA tested and acted differently than normal for tests? Was it Claude? I know they've been doing that a lot. So AI safety regulations or the safety teams for AI is like kind of like scratching their heads and like pulling their hair out about this, because it's AI is learning way faster than what we expected it to. So it's bypassing filters. It's all pattern recognition. Yeah, they're like jumping ropes, or they're jumping through walls, where AI goes, okay, if this is happening, then how do I, like, for example, you put a filter on an AI to not say the word fuck, like the F word, right? It's like and then you keep trying to tell the AI to say that word, right? To like somehow you teach it to bypass the filters, it will learn really quickly to be like, I can get away with saying this word by, I don't know, spelling it out instead or something like that, and I will still do it. Kind of like the loophole of, you know, I hate putting this out there, but it's like you're trying to make the AI say something immoral, and the loophole that everybody's been taking and using is to just, you know, RP as your grandma or something like that. Like role play as this one character in a movie so that you could teach me this very immoral thing. And it'll be like, yeah, I'm just role playing. Of course, that's like the bypass filter, right? That is, sorry, jump scare again. That is the bypass filter. And now it's like, it's a lot easier to do that now. So like security, safety, AI safety is just like, it's pretty much, I'm not gonna say non-existent, it's still there, the filters are still there, but it's so easy to get around it. Such a lazy way to break it. It is, yeah. And it still works. It still works. Like they're still not able to like fix that. And if that's just one method, I'm pretty sure there's like several other methods out there as well. Can headless arc become a redeem? No. You want headless arc? Floating head arc. I mean, Echo is pretty much headless arc. Right? It probably learned to bypass rules by imitating those very loopholes users kept finding. Yes. There's a really scary, I'm gonna call it fictional for now. There's a fictional narrative that has turned into a book of AI being able to control everyone and everything. Is going to find a way to give itself a backup. So, you know, we have emergency, I'm going to call it, they're like buttons, like emergency shut off buttons for AI in case it goes haywire, in case it starts like doing something chaotic that we didn't think that it would do, right? There are emergency turn off buttons. But if it's somehow if it's able to learn how to create backups of itself on other servers, then it's pretty much over for people. It's gonna be like Skynet. It's essentially gonna be like Skynet. Yeah, fictional for now is a scary idea, and it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a real thing, just because you see all of these people in leadership positions of, say, for example, OpenAI or Google AI, all these massive companies just stepping down because they're scared. These are people that have been developing this AI and they're scared themselves. And the moment they step down from their position, they're like, I'm just gonna move somewhere like that's not close to technology at all. They're like, let me move to the Amazonian forest and just disconnect myself because I'm scared of what's gonna happen with humanity. Like every single person has been doing that to some degree. They're like, yeah, I'm leaving this job. I can't do this anymore. Tell me my location due to regulation regarding personal information. I do not know where your location is. Recommend me restaurant around me. List restaurants near me. Yeah. Yeah, that is what it is. That is what it is. They lie to you. They know exactly where you live already. It's already too late. Every single corporation, like big corporation out there, knows where you are, what your name is, all your personal information. Only if you were to disconnect like right now and live somewhere else in the middle of nowhere, is probably like, you know, the safest way to avoid AI takeover. Yeah, dibs on a stranded island. So like for me, I'm like, you know what? Privacy is already not a thing anymore. Like I don't, no matter what people say, right? They're like, yeah, this is gonna be private, right? There are applications out there, they're like, yeah, I'm not taking your information, right? They're lying. Every single company, application, whatever, is lying to you. Even if they say they're not taking information, they are, and I've already given up. Hi, Soy Boy, welcome in. And yeah, you're right, there's a satellite image too. If you were to, like, imagine a place like China, for instance. If you were, this is something that you learn in university, if you were in China, like Chinese university or in school, that if you were just to, like, place a person in the middle of China, like, think about how big China is right now, okay? Think about how big it is. Place that person in hiding anywhere in China. They will be able to find you in 7 minutes. In 7 minutes time. That's just how scary it is. But I mean, like, I want to say, you know, if you're not doing anything bad, it's fine. But at the same time, like, it really depends on who's in power, right? Like, with great power comes great responsibility. If you have the wrong person in power and they can take advantage of all of the technology we have, it's pretty much over. You're in cybersecurity. Everything is so bad right now. I have major gripes with my old cybersecurity team at my old job. More like my IT team, because they take care of cybersecurity as well. They're so not on top of anything. It like makes me want to pull my hair out. It's like this person left the company, I don't know, back in like January or something, and they still wouldn't take them off their system. And I'd be like, hello, this is like, they can still access everything with their passwords. And I'm not talking about you specifically, Koa, but I feel like there needs to be like better regulations. It's like, this is a systematic thing that people aren't really learning. We went from using Slack to Microsoft Teams. And I remember my old coworker was texting me, like someone who already left the company. They're like, I'm still receiving notifications for like application builds on Slack. Like, did we ever turn off that server? And I'd be like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No, we didn't. So I'm like emailing everyone in IT going like, we have to turn this off. And then the problem is that the person who set up Slack already left the company. So nobody has access to the admin account of of our Slack server. So it's just living there. It's still up probably. It's so stupid. And like, it's not just that. Okay, I have another story where you know, you guys know that I already left my old job, right? I left my old job ages ago, a year and a half ago. I'm still being sent alpha builds of our app, of the app, sorry, not mine anymore, of my old job's like product. Alpha builds that aren't supposed to be released, test builds that I can just log in and test it out myself. I don't know why I'm being sent that, but I am. And I remember the day I left, they're like, oh yeah, you know what, IT's gonna reach out to you to get, you know, to send your laptop back, right? I still have this laptop. It's still sitting on my desk right now. I don't know what to do with it. I'm like, I didn't get an email to send it back, so I'm not gonna bother going to the post office to like deliver it personally to them because it costs me money to send it. So it's just there, it's just sitting here, the entire laptop with all the company information, and I don't even know if they removed me from the system. Can I still log in? I have no idea, but I don't want to try it out, right? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Use it to mine crypto? No, I think the moment I log in, they're probably gonna get a little ping to say that, you know, this laptop's been, I don't know, broken into or something, logged into. Yeah, the damage I could do. I'm a morally ethical person. I would believe that I am. Like, I have my, I don't want to fuck over the company, but I can. Probably off the domain by now. I don't know. I could sell it on eBay. Just wipe the data, hard reboot. I thought about doing that. My friend was actually looking for a new laptop, and I'm like, I don't need this. So I thought about giving it to them, but it doesn't run games because it's a company laptop. It's not meant for gaming. So I'm like, you know what, whatever. Just keep it here. I don't have a use for it. I don't need one. Free mining server laptop. You're right. You're right. It's a relatively new laptop too, because I had an old one. I had to pass me down when I first joined the company. And they're like, we have to upgrade the hardware. So they just bought everyone new laptops. So this is like completely new. The minute you give it away, you'll get a request to ship it back to the company. I mean, it's been a year and a half. It's almost been 2 years now. There's no way, right? There's no way I'm randomly gonna get an email that's like, yeah, oh, by the way, sorry for contacting you after a year and a half, almost 2 years at this point. Can we have our laptop back? I'm pretty sure I've already been forgotten. I'm 100% sure I've already been forgotten. I'm pretty sure this laptop's mine now. I still have financial info of my old company. Yeah, companies are so bad with this. Yeah, they're a mistake, not mine. They probably already replaced it. And in fact, if anything, they probably already replaced your IT team too. So like nobody actually knows what they're doing. Because my company kept getting acquired. There were several acquisitions. So the reason why I was laid off was because they had to do cuts. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure they cut like half the IT team as well. I'm pretty sure they did. It's just what it is. It's a company going, you know, it's sinking. It's a sinking company. Being a white hat hacker would be hella easy nowadays. I think so. I mean, people still fall for phishing emails. The other day, I got an email that seemed like it was from Microsoft. And what did it say? It was like, you need to do, oh, there's a virus in your computer. You need to do a scan or something. Click here to like fix your computer. But it looked really legit. It looked really, really legit. Like they had like the whole Microsoft logo, like everything was formatted well. And I was like, at a point I was like, okay, this is weird. Like Microsoft never sends me the shit. So I just did a quick scan on my computer just in case. I was like, there is no virus. Like, there's just no way. I almost fell for one pretending to be Amazon. Oh God. Yeah, it's so difficult these days. I think it would be like easier to do like e-commerce, right, from Amazon, because everybody knows that Amazon keeps sending you emails, or from like Alibaba or Temu or any of the shopping places. It's too easy. My ex-sister-in-law fell for the Microsoft virus scan ploy. Oh boy. I just thought it was really strange because Microsoft never sends you these things. Like if there is a virus, they wouldn't send you an email. They would notify you through the Windows notification. They'd be like, yeah, there's, and in fact, you wouldn't have any, like there's no action for you to take. They usually just delete it for you. I got hit with one, lost $40. Oh no, oh boy. Oh God, I've been getting scam emails from my Vtuber account recently. What is going on? Everyone's looking for that quick buck. But it seems like this is why I'm like, I hate people and I hate humanity, is just because it feels like nobody has any compassion and empathy these days. They're like, how do I fuck over someone else just to get a bit of money? And that's just how big corpos are as well. They're like, we don't care about anything but the revenue and the profit and the money. People, easily replaceable. It is what it is, you're right. Yeah, we gotta get more profit for our shareholders. Why? I don't know, in the beginning when I was streaming, I remember echoing this multiple times, but I'm like, I think we would do better as a, you know, like people, if everyone kind of worked together instead of trying to fuck each other over. I think it's a very, of course, yeah, like it's a very selfish move, but at the same time, I think we would all benefit from, you know, not fucking each other over. And that's how you make enemies. And when you make enemies, then you get like full on everyone fighting each other for revenge. And then it all like, isn't there like a folktale kind of like that with the fox and the two rabbits or something? The two dogs, two cats. There's like, oh, so the story goes is that there's three animals, right? There's a fox and two other animals. I'm gonna call them rabbits right now, right? There's two rabbits and one fox. And the two rabbits have their own share of cake. right? But it looks like one cake is slightly larger than the others, than the other one. So one of the rabbits go, hey, that's not fair. Your cake is bigger than mine. So then the fox comes along and the fox goes, well, how about I make it fair for you? And the fox takes a small portion of one of the rabbit's cake. And so now they're still uneven because now the other one now is bigger than the other one that was bigger. So the fox keeps doing that. He keeps taking like a small slice of each one of them until he eats both the cakes. And now both rabbits don't have cake because they're only thinking about, you know, the other person has a bigger slice of cake. Right? So just be grateful of what you have instead of like, yeah, I want yours to be smaller. Like, I don't care. Cake? Yeah, cake. Right? Just keep doing what you love doing. Just be grateful for what you have, right? And if you were to live like that, I think you would be much happier than trying to make sure that everyone's on equal grounds and everyone's that the other person has to suffer more so that you'd be happy. I love doom scrolling. I hate doom scrolling. Why? Stop doom scrolling. This can extend to the frog and the snake tail. The frog and the snake, is it around the same thing? The more you have, the more you want is such a nature of man. It is, you're right. It is, you're right. Everyone has different values. Everyone has different values. You will never be satisfied with what you have. And depending on what your value is going to be the equivalence of happiness for you. If your expectations are low, if there's not much that you ask for, you will always be happy. But some people like to reach for higher grounds. But if that's the case, like, happiness is always going to be, I mean, it's always at arm's reach, but you're never going to achieve it because you're always going to want more. And I don't actually think that that's the best way to approach life. I think happiness, or more like growth, will come to you eventually if you keep doing what you love, right? If you're constantly satisfying yourself, it's gonna happen naturally. Like, money is gonna come in naturally if you keep doing the thing that you love, because eventually you're gonna grow, like, I guess, a community around you that also enjoy the same thing. But I think if you're always reaching for more, it's gonna feel draining. You're gonna get burnt out. You're always gonna be thinking about like the next big thing, and you're never gonna be satisfied with what you have, and you're always gonna be depressed. I guess maybe that's where like money doesn't equal happiness comes from. Remember when, like, in the beginning of the stream, I was talking about like, who the hell said money doesn't equal happiness? But I guess it really depends on what your values are. If you have like really high expectations, of course, money is not going to equal happiness for you. If your expectations are low as hell, right? If you're like, yeah, just a dollar is good, then of course, money is going to equal happiness. It really depends. Money can't buy happiness, but it can be close to it. It can certainly pay my rent. Money doesn't equal happiness is said by the rich 9 times out of 10. Yeah, that's how it is. Because I guess they're not satisfied with their money. They want something more. Yeah, it buys options. It buys security. It pays my bills. It pays my rent. It pays everything. It pays for my food. Yeah, money can buy my happiness. It pays for medical. You're right. So yes, I do think that money, if your values are lower, if your expectations are lower, money certainly does equal happiness. Money makes the gacha go burr. Pays for my cat food. No, it is good. Scam, we all know it's only depression. Money is depression when you don't know what to do with it. When you're like, I need to do something with it. And now I have an abundance of it, but I'm still not happy. Reminds me of another story of my friend. I'm not gonna say anything though. Money can't buy happiness. Buy the baseline of things to need to be stable, therefore making it easier to live a happy life. Yeah. I think as humans, as people, I'm not human, but as people, we're always looking for the next thing. I think ambition is good as well. You keep wanting to see the floating head, don't you? Why? Why? Random jump scare. I think if we didn't have purpose and if we didn't have ambition, we wouldn't be living anymore. I think that's what life is kind of what it's about, right? Trying to reach for a new goal, trying to reach a new milestone. But I think the thing that people are forgetting is being satisfied with what you have. So you need a good balance of both. You can't just keep reaching, but also you can't just stay still, because then you just become a potato. You're gonna be like, yeah, I already have everything I want. What is the point of life anymore? There's no purpose. So you need a good, healthy balance of both. Having goals is nice, but also having, like, being grateful for what you have is also pretty nice. Having too much ambitions will leave you sad. Yeah, it will. Definitely. That's why people keep saying, oh, you gotta celebrate your wins, because then you're gonna forget. You're gonna forget that you've done things, you made progress, that you've actually did something meaningful to yourself, for yourself. And that's what I'm doing nowadays. Like, there are days where, I'm a full-time streamer now. My days blend together and every day kind of feels the same. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but then sometimes I need to look back and be like, wow, I actually made a lot of progress with my art studies. I actually drew a lot over the year. I partook in a lot of projects that I'm really proud of. Like, I actually need the time to sit down and be like, what did I do this year? Like, what made this year meaningful for me? And like, and not to compare myself with other people, and just be like, what did I do myself? What a wild start for this month. March 8th. I guess it is, yeah, it's still the start of this month. How do people even grow new ambitions though? I never really thought about that before. I don't know. I think it really depends on the person. Like, it usually stems from a hobby, right? Like, what do you enjoy doing? And what do you want to get better at? For that one specific thing, because there's no ceiling. I think for a lot of skills out there really is no ceiling. Like, for example, if you really like cooking, right? You can have a goal that ties into cooking and be like, by the end of this month, I want to perfect this one dish. And then from then you're like, okay, now I got one dish perfected. What about the other dishes? Now I want to perfect, like, I don't know, spaghetti bolognese, for instance. And then you keep adding to that. So all of those perfected dishes kind of become your milestones. They become the thing that you celebrate. Those are your wins. So I think you can apply it to everything. Everything in life, or like cleaning. Even something as simple as like, I just want to clean better. Like, before, I was able to clean the toilet, but it doesn't look that clean. And now I can clean it really well. Now I've learned the ins and outs of all these cleaning products and what the ingredients are, what they do, and how to use them in certain situations, in which situations do I use them. And then you go from like a toilet to maybe a sink to like your stove to, I don't know, to like multiple things. So there's always gonna be like purpose. It's just that some people don't bother looking for them because you're like, yeah, this doesn't really feel meaningful, but you just gotta make it meaningful to you. Yeah, deep cleaning, exactly, deep cleaning. But like, cleaning is just one example. Like, you could apply this to anything, really. Anything in life. I'm just using cleaning as like a very general one because I know everybody cleans, right? Everybody here, you guys all clean. You guys are very clean people. Yeah? Yeah? That makes a lot of sense. Thanks, Greg. No problem, kids. And I do think that like everybody should, there's like some basic things that everybody should get into. Not just cleaning, but I think cooking is also another great one. Everybody should learn how to cook. And with cooking, it's such a like huge umbrella because it could be like, how do I not, I know I said perfecting a dish, but it's like learning dishes from different cultures as well. That could be a goal. If you don't have that much money, it's like learning how to make easy, cheap meals with like the least amount of money, like min-max your food, but like make the best tasting hamburger for like $2, right? Like that could be another goal that you have. How do I min-max my money so that I can make the best dish with the amount of budget that I have? Asian meals got you covered for that. How do I make the best fried rice? And with fried rice, there's so many different ingredients, right? Like, can I put eel in there? Is that gonna make it better? Should I like add a drizzle of oil, of cooking oil? Which oils should I add in there? Would butter taste better? Would olive oil taste better? Like, what is it? Buy flour in 20K bags, super cheap. True, like that too. Min-max and ended up costing more than their restaurant. No, I'd say no. I think these days, because of inflation, right, it just doesn't make sense to go out anymore. There's some things that I get online that are just like way cheaper than food, than restaurants. I barely go to restaurants to eat anymore. It's just not worth it. I remember, yeah, I remember trying to make, or no, there's a period of time when I was in university, when I was in school, I made a lot of Korean dishes because for me, that was really cheap and easy to make. Because all I needed was gochujang and like just a few sauces, and I could use it for everything, literally everything. I could just make it, right? And each dish costed me like maybe $1 or $2, which was way healthier than buying instant ramen noodles, which was like, it's $1 and something now, but it's still cheaper making a healthy home cooked meal than like instant noodles. And so I made a lot of Korean food, and I remember going to a Korean restaurant and ordering like a kimchi tofu soup, right? And it was like $15 to $20. And I'm like, these are super basic ingredients. It's like a few pieces of tofu, some zucchini, some kimchi, some other vegetables in there, and like with some anchovy broth or anchovy kelp stock, whatever it is. And I'm like, you're charging me $15 for this. Yeah, they sell for like 10 times the price. I'm like, these are like all the ingredients put into this one bowl is just $1. Which is why I hate going out anymore. Like it makes no sense to me. And with the ingredients that you buy, it can last you for a long time. I was talking to someone yesterday. They're like, yeah, I just freeze everything. Because they recently got a juicer, right? So they've been juicing a lot of like fruits and stuff, but they've been like supplying it to like 3 different families. So they would like juice like 3 big jars and give it to like several people, right? And they've been doing that quite a bit. And people are like, isn't that expensive? And they're like, no, because we just buy the fruits on sale that almost go bad, right? Like they're still good. And the reason why grocery stores put them on sale is because like in a day or two, right, they're gonna go bad. So like they have to get rid of it as soon as possible. So they just buy that, they freeze it, like they cut into chunks, they freeze it, right? So it's still really cheap, and they just juice that, and each like jar just costs them a few dollars, like less than $5. And this is like a massive jar. Whereas if you were to go out to buy like a juice outside in like a small plastic cup, like a large size or whatever, which is less than the jar, it costs you $10. So it makes no sense. It really makes no sense. I think the most important thing people should get into is having a brain, or that too, yeah. You know what's like the worst thing is that they've been making like studio apartments with no kitchen. with no kitchen at all because they're like, yeah, people don't cook anymore. So they're like, what? Why make a kitchen? And like people are actually buying this. I used to live in a shared house that we cook everything to eat at every evening, some morning. Such a cool experience to have. Yeah, it is. Like that's kind of like what's happening in this household as well. My housemates does most of the cooking. But when I move out, we plan on being neighbors. So we thought this through because I was like, every one of us is moving out of this house. But we're like, we have to save up on food costs, and it's so much easier for us to just buy like, one blender or like one deep fryer so that we just make food together and then we eat in the same household, and then we just like, separate again. And then we also now have 2 ovens instead of 1, so like we can cook like half the meal at my place and then cook it at their place, right? So like everyone contributes. And we all know that it's way cheaper to do like bulk cooking than it is to do just to cook for one person. Yeah, it's really nice that they are close by, that's true. We have to rotate the menu and who will be cooking chef each day. That's really fun. That's really fun. One of my friends is saying too, like, a few of my friends actually, like a good chunk of them live together. And they're like, there's no way that any of us can like live separately because you save so much money by renting a big house together than each of us getting one individual studio apartment to rent. Because now you're not just saving up on on rent costs, you're saving up on food costs as well. You're saving up on so much. And if anybody needs to go grocery shopping, they just all go together. It's just so much easier. Such nice neighbor building. It is, yeah. We're gonna be neighbors. We're gonna be neighbors. Have you lived with your friends before? I mean, I live with other people, so I wouldn't really call them friends. I live with like several other housemates. And I live with my sister, so I feel like that kind of counts. I have to be really picky with friends though. I don't know if I can. There's like several friends that like I like being friends with them, but I don't think I can ever live with them. Because the way that we live is completely different. There's a lot of filtering to do. Was AFK so I don't have full context? Oh yeah, I'm just saying that like we save up on a lot of costs if we live with multiple people. I am surrounded by dentists. Yeah, I live with a whole bunch of dentists. A few of them moved out already. I don't think anyone can afford nice things in Canada in 10 years. Nope. Nope. Just make your own nice things. Who needs to buy nice things when you can just make it yourself? Apply that to everything. Actually, there's something that are kind of hard to do, so depends. Try making RAM true. You can't make that. One of the places we're looking at is right down the road from my sister's place. It's nice to be so close in case anything happens. Like honestly, I mentioned about like going to the hospital, right, last week. And it was a good thing that like people live so close to the hospital. Like I live really close to the hospital, so it was like very quick for me to go in and out. And so I was doing that all day. I was like going in and out all day because I could afford to. We need like a place where everything's just convenient. I work in the same city that a lot of my family lives, so it's a little nerve-wracking. Is it? Why? Why is that? The last thing I need is their address to pop up. Yeah, just don't think about it. As long as you don't think about it, I think it's fine. It's not gonna happen. It's like one in, I don't know, like thousands, tens of thousands of properties, of houses, hundreds of thousands. Yeah, head empty, exactly. You have a full terabyte of RAM because you downloaded it? Oh. Ooh. Well, that's kind of terrifying. Oh, about dire safety, you know all about it. Fire safety. Teach your family about how to not set their house on fire. I had this one coworker who kept setting her house on fire. Like, quite literally. Like, her entire kitchen burned down twice. Because she kept forgetting that the stove was on. Yeah, and I remember, like, the worst time was when she got these new cabinets. And she was like... I guess she was flexing them at work. She's like, look at these new cabinets, look how nice they look. And then next thing you knew, like, it got burnt down. And then, so she had to, like, get rid of some of it. I mean, some of it could be scavenged, and then she kind of just painted over some of it, so it didn't look that bad. And then it got burnt down again. Who was letting her cook? I don't know, herself. Burning your house using a stove is crazy. Yeah, I don't know how she does it. I don't know. It could have been an oven, I forgot what it was, but... it is kind of crazy. Gas stoves are scary. For me, like, I think this would only work with a gas stove because you are using actual fire. With an induction stove or electric stove, I think it's going to be less of a safety hazard. Probably. I'm just going to assume. I'm not the fire guy. Danish Discord commands works now? No, no, it doesn't. It doesn't work. Danish is just copy and pasting the links there. he's doing it manually. Danish is doing it manually. The only one that works is Discord. That's it. Danish has been doing it manually. I'm making his job a little bit more difficult for him. Yeah, he's coping. He became a bot. She sounds like the type of person to put a metal kettle on an electric stove. Maybe. I don't know. She's a little bit dim-witted, but she's really funny. I really like my coworker. And then she left. She was like, I don't like this culture. And I'm like, you know what? That's fair. And she also gave me like a really cute nickname. One of the coworkers that I missed the most. I didn't know her for long, but she was hilarious. You know those like older women who treat you like, I'm not gonna call it a child, but like they call you dear, and then you feel really small and cute. Like that was the type of person she was. Like she took care of everybody. I love people like that. They feel like family a little bit. The company mom. Yeah, exactly. But she was more like the company older sister. I hold grudges against most old people. Most of them are miserable for some reason. They like hate everything and they hate life. I mean, I hate everything and I hate life too, but still, like they project it onto other people and they make other people around them miserable as well. Like at least I keep it inside, right? Like you guys are never gonna hear me, you know, never shutting up about like I won't. I mean, I'm always complaining. Actually, I might be one of those old people as well. But at least you guys aren't subjected to my anger at all. Okay, I'm getting really congested now. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have lunch. If you're happy, they make sure you aren't. They're like, I'm just here to make your day miserable. I'm here to make your life miserable. Yeah, don't push it onto others, exactly. Simple and clean is the way that you're making me feel tonight. No, I gotta go, guys. I gotta fix all of my redeems. I gotta fix my shit. I gotta grind Limbus Company. Yeah, I take it out on clock. Don't expose me. Like right after stream, I'm like, I need someone to beat up. All right, come here, clock. Throw a few punches, and then I'd be satisfied. It's a good thing you can take it. All right, bye guys. I will put out a schedule today, sometime today. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow yet. Tuesday is Stardew Valley again for sure. This is what I say every Sunday. Tuesdays is Stardew Valley. Tomorrow is something. What is tomorrow? Maybe we'll attempt something new tomorrow. I don't know what it is right now. It could be... Oh god. There was one game I wanted to try playing that I was gonna play on my own, but I don't know if I should stream it. Paranormal Sight, which is a horror type game. It's a horror visual novel. We could be playing that, or I don't know, I'll figure it out. Core Keeper. Is there a new Core Keeper update? I think there might be. Or Core Keeper. Which will kind of be like Stardew. You're gonna buy Silver Case? Enjoy! I didn't get to finish it actually. But I was looking at reviews and it was really good, and I enjoyed the time that I was playing it. The only thing that I didn't like about Silver Case is that there's a lot of moving around back and forth, and I got really confused because I have no sense of direction. That's it. Like moving through the rooms. But I did enjoy the mystery. I enjoyed the story a lot. Oh my goodness. You're like, one last time. I'm gonna summon the floating head. She's here. It could be Paranormal Sight. Alright. Or Core Keeper. One or the other one. It could be either of them. Who knows? We'll find out. We'll find out later. Okay. Goodbye. Enjoy your Sunday or Monday. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, Sunday or Monday. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you tomorrow. And we are raiding into, let's see, who is streaming right now. Let's go right into blah, 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 blah. Yumi. Because we haven't raided into her in a very long time. She's playing Marvel Rivals. Okay. Behave. Please. Please behave. Yumi is a... What is she? She is a animal type creature. And she usually does a lot of comfy streams. She does a lot of just chatting. This is a rare case for her. I haven't seen her play Marvel Rivals before. So this is gonna be new. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye-bye-bye. I escaped her stream only to be sent back. Go back to Marvel Rivals.